Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Today is Thursday, May 15th, 2025, at 13:32, and today we have our Day 2 outlook for tomorrow to look at. Now, tomorrow is going to be way more busier today and more dangerous, too. Tomorrow, that's right, you're looking at this right. There is a moderate risk for parts of Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri. We have an enhanced risk surrounding that for parts of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, a little bit of a little bit of Virginia, Tennessee, going through Arkansas and back through Missouri and into Illinois. We have a slight risk that encompasses parts of Texas going into Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, a little bit of North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, D.C., Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, into Missouri, and then back through Arkansas, and Oklahoma, and back into Texas that way. So yes, we do have that slight risk here. We have the marginal risk that extends from Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, a little bit of South Carolina, North Carolina, and going up in here into Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York State, a little bit of Connecticut and Massachusetts there having that as well, and just a little bit of Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, and then into Illinois there, down through Missouri, a little bit through Kansas even, and actually no Kansas, but we do have just a teeny bit of Arkansas having that, and then through Oklahoma back into Texas that way. So we do have a very, very, very busy day tomorrow. So please be mindful that this could be you tomorrow. So we have St. Louis, Louisville, Evansville, Clarksville, and Bloomington under a moderate. Indianapolis, Nashville, Cincinnati, Lexington, Fayette, and Knoxville under enhanced. Philadelphia, Dallas, Columbus, Memphis, and Baltimore under the slight. In New York, Chicago, Detroit, Fort Worth, and Milwaukee under the marginal. So yes, we do have a very, very busy day for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and deep dive and see what we've got in here. Oh boy, we have a 10% tornado risk for parts of Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, down into a little bit of Arkansas, Tennessee, and up into Indiana as well as a teeny bit of Ohio. We have a 5% that extends from Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, a little bit of Virginia, Tennessee, a little bit of Mississippi and Alabama there, a little bit of Arkansas and Missouri, and back into Illinois. We have this 2% that extends from Texas into Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Alabama, a little bit of Tennessee there having that, going into Virginia, D.C., Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Delaware, up over into New York, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and back into Illinois, New Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and back into Texas. So yes, we do have the tornado threat for tomorrow. So unfortunately, we do have the significant severe tag on this one. So Cincinnati, Louisville, Lexington, Fayette, Evansville, and Clarksville under the significant severe. Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Louisville, Lexington, Fayette, and Evansville under the 10% hatched. Columbus, Memphis, Nashville, St. Louis, and Dayton under the 5%. And Chicago, Dallas, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., and Cleveland under the 2%. So I will have to say, for the 10% hatch, we could see an EF3 tornado possible. That's possible. Strong tornadoes might be another word for it. Strong tornadoes may be possible tomorrow. 5%, you could see EF1 to EF2 tornadoes possible. And 2%, we could see an EF0 to maybe an EF1 tornado possible. But please be mindful, that could be a possibility wherever you may be tomorrow. But, excuse me, we do have the potential for strong tornadoes tomorrow. Going into the damage and wind threat, oh yeah, that's a big one. This is the big one that has the moderate risk out. So, we have a 45% hatched area for parts of Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, and Indiana. We have a 30% hatched for parts of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, a little bit of West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, going into a little bit of Arkansas. We have a normal 30% for parts of Arkansas and Tennessee as well. We have the 15% that extends from Texas into Oklahoma, Arkansas, a little bit of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, D.C., Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, Ohio. Whoa, and there's the reset. Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, back to Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and then back into Texas. We also have the 5% that extends from Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, a little bit of South Carolina, North Carolina. And then we have it joining back here in New Jersey, New York State, even New York City, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York State, Pennsylvania, a little bit of Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, through a little bit of Arkansas, and back into Oklahoma and Texas. So we do have a very busy wind threat for tomorrow. So, cities that might be seeing some wind damage include Indianapolis, Columbus, Nashville, St. Louis, and Cincinnati being under the significant severe. St. Louis, Louisville, Evansville, Clarksville, and Bloomington under the 45% hatched. Indianapolis, Columbus, Nashville, Cincinnati, and Lexington Fayette under the 30% hatched. Philadelphia, Dallas, Memphis, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. under the 15%. And New York, Chicago, Detroit, Fort Worth, and Milwaukee under the 5%. So there could be possibility that there could be a derecho. I hate to say. We could see, for the 45% wind risk, we could see 75 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts, maybe even 100 mile per hour wind gusts. I hate to forecast that, but I hate to see these risks up this high. So 45%, we could see 100 mile per hour wind gusts possible for my prediction. 30% hatched, we could see 70 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts possible. Just for the little bit area of the 30%, we could see 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts, maybe even 85 mile per hour wind gusts. 15% we could see 60 to 75 mile per hour wind gusts, and 5% we could see 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So there is a very high probability that this may end up being a derecho threat. Who knows? So please be on the lookout tomorrow. Moving on to the hail risk for tomorrow, we have parts of Missouri, Arkansas, a little bit of Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, and Indiana under the 30% hatched for tomorrow. We do have a 15% hatched extending from Texas into Oklahoma, Arkansas, going through a little bit of Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. We do also have the normal 15% that encompasses parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, a little bit of Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, and just a little bit of Illinois. We have the 5% that extending from Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, D.C., Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, New York State, Connecticut, Massachusetts, even New York City, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, into a little bit of Arkansas, back into Oklahoma and Texas. So we do have those areas under the hail risk for tomorrow. So we have Dallas, Indianapolis, Memphis, St. Louis, and Cincinnati under the significant severe. Indianapolis, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Louisville, Lexington Fayette under the 30% hatched. Dallas, Columbus, Memphis, Nashville, and Fort Wayne under the 15%. And New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Detroit, and Fort Worth under the 5%. So definitely 40 to 30% hatched. We could see hailstones of 2 to 4 inches possible. So please be mindful that could be a possibility. 15% hatch, you could see 1 to 3.5 inch hail possible. Normal 15%, you could see 1 to 3 inch hail possible. And 5%, we could see 1 to 2 inch hail possible. So please be mindful that could be a possibility for tomorrow, depending on where you are. But the the wind and tornado threat are the top priority threats. So anyway, let's go ahead and read the summary here. I think it'll reset as I'm trying to read this. A regional outbreak of severe thunderstorms is likely across parts of the middle Mississippi and Ohio valleys Friday afternoon into Friday night. This may include a few intense supercells posing a risk for large hail and tornadoes. During the evening into the overnight hours, this will include an upscale growing and organizing Boeing line of storms, posing a risk for strong, damaging winds and a continuing risk for tornadoes. So there you go. There's the reset again. So anyway, tomorrow's pretty much going to be a very, very dangerous day for severe weather. Hope there's no high risk for tomorrow. Really hope not. There's tomorrow's hail risk. There's tomorrow's wind risk. There's tomorrow's tornado risk. And there's tomorrow's day 2 outlook. I really do hope that you stay weather aware and stay safe. Please take today to get prepared for anything that comes your way tomorrow, because you're gonna you're gonna thank me later if you haven't done so. And this time tomorrow, if you are getting alerts and stuff like that, you're gonna thank me later if you haven't already prepared. But anyway, I'm just gonna say this: a severe weather outbreak by the SPC tomorrow is possible. I'm predicting a more of a derecho threat, so this could be a derecho, but also there is a tornado and hail threat, so we'll have to see what happens with tomorrow. But anyway, we will be going over this day 1 outlook one more time before we, for tomorrow when it does become day 1. But anyway, hope you stay weather aware, stay safe, get prepared for tomorrow, because this will be significant. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and talk to y'all later. Take care.